All right, today, man, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to call it thinking dimensionally. How do you take how do you draw something in three? How do you think in 3 dimensions? All right, pardon me while I figure this out. First of all, I can't remember the progression of coming to this realization and figuring this out. But at some point I did. How do you take an image like that, an idea, and put it in 3 dimensions? Well, hopefully you know about perspective, and if you don't, here's a quick primer. All right. Oh, sorry. Car keys hooked over my triangle here. And this says you don't need a triangle. What you need is a straight edge. But I'm going to draw the edge of this. I'm going to turn this to the side. Not on its side, but I'm turning it to the side. And drawing it that way. This isn't a Hitler mustache, it's actually kind of a nose shadow, but man, it looks like a Hitler mustache right there. Anyway, how I come to this thought here, all right, is basically this. Okay, and you've got these perspective lines. How do we get this sucker to exist in space? And, there's our square turned to the side, okay? And then the eyeballs are going to do a similar thing. What the eyeballs we're going to use ellipses, because there's your circle. You turn it to the side. You've got this square that we're going to use for perspective purposes. You turn it to the side, and that square has been scrunched a little bit, and then your circle becomes an ellipse. And an ellipse it's a circle turned to the side a little bit. So we're going to use ellipses for those eyes. All right? And then the nose comes out because we're viewing it from a different angle. Like that. And see how my circles kind of, this is, you measure it out. And, I don't know that at any point that I ever did this. Okay? That's the thing. I don't know if this is going to help or not, but this is how it works. This is the mechanics of it. And, there's your ear. There's your brain box in the back. And, anyway, yeah, that's basically, that's the idea. That's how this works. And let me think. Let's take a different character. And a lot of it, too, is, I'll draw this gorilla character that I worked with several years ago. Thank you, Mr. Eubanks, for this suggestion. It's been fun. The thing about this little show of mine here is that if you want to see something done, if you're wondering about how to do something, just ask, because in all likelihood I'm going to get to it, because this is a my fan base is relatively small, and I don't get a whole lot of emails. I ain't begging or anything, I'm just letting you know. And I honestly don't put a whole lot of thought into doing something for this show, because, man, I've got lots of work to do. Anyway, there's our gorilla character. All right, so we see that guy. And just because I'm running out of space, I'm going to take this flat image, and I'm going to move it over here. All right, so should I do it that? Yeah, I'll do it that way. We'll all survive, okay? In these, rather than using ellipses on this, I'm going to kind of keep the ice spherical, but you still have the same kind of perspective idea. But it happens kind of automatically. But the thought is there. I'm kind of thinking that, and it's just the whole idea of something in the foreground is going to be bigger than the same size, the same object farther away. Okay, and this is basically all I'm doing. All right, and then the nose. The nose that in the foreground has this kind of, I'm putting it on its side. Or why do I keep saying it's not on its side? I'm just turning it. All right, think of that. Think of these individual elements as just they're existing in space and being turned, being tweaked. Okay, I got these eyebrow things, and the way they're kind of their own elements too, their own thoughts. But I'll do that, and then that, and then this shape here. I know in my head it has a little bit different dimension. The hair comes off to the front, and then I'll pop the ear on there. And then this area here is very foreshortened. Okay, so it actually sticks out quite a ways. This just comes from knowing in your head what this stuff is going to look like in 3D. And the way you know that is you just know it. You just create it that way, or you observe it that way. All right. But this is a good example of foreshortening right here. This idea how that area is shortened, foreshortening, and then elongated here. And I like putting stubble on things because it's funny, and it also does a great deal to increase the idea of the dimension of your character, because you get more stubble as the object turns, because when you see it from the side, you're seeing it's foreshortening again. You're seeing more surface area than you are at than here. Like you see all of this surface area compressed in here, so you're going to have more hair growing out there, and that's a great way to communicate illusions like that. Is it an illusion? I don't like saying that because it's sort of, I kind of like thinking of this as having its own kind of reality and veracity. It does have its own integrity. Because in my mind, it really exists. I mean, I'm not nutty, but it's real. I think of it in 3D. I don't get too existential with it. Okay. All right, that's enough for today. I'm way over time. Hope you all get something out of this, and I'll work with it more in the days to come. Thanks.